anyone, if you want to come out and visit Milan, I'm sure we can take you to a trip to the San Siro, right?
Which brings us to the fact that the Champions League sort of creates these myths that sort of, just like are in the air about the Champions League. There is Anfield on a Champions League night, for example.
It just works.
Which
every time.
Apparently is quite something.
Like, if you know that if the team have only beaten Liverpool at home by 1 goal, chances are they're going to go out, because Anfield in the second leg, there is something about that place. I think almost it feeds into
Messi and Barcelona.
Yes, yeah. It feeds in almost to the psychology of the players at this point, where they're like, oh, fuck, we have to go to Anfield on like the second leg. Like, it's like they're defeated before they get there, right? Yeah. I know it's not 100%, but I reckon it's like 90%, right? And this myth kind of continues through the competition, through years and years. These traditions build, right? And this is something, again, that I love about a competition. It's history. It's history.
Yeah, and these myths lead into the obsession that some teams have with this competition. I'm thinking about my own team, Inter Milan, who were chasing the Champions League for 45 years without winning it, and it had become an obsession. It had literally become an obsession. You could see that every time Inter were playing in the Champions League, they had it in the back of their mind. We haven't won it in 45 years. That's why we'll never be able to thank Jose Mourinho enough for taking that trophy back to the black and blue side of Milan, because that was quite something. I'm thinking of Juventus, who've lost the 7 Champions League finals. They were in 2 Champions League finals.
Just had to get that in there.
No, but look, I'm actually being very impartial right now.
I know.
And they were in 2 Champions League finals recently, and I mean, they lost them again. So there is this obsession. Yeah, that was great to say. We can have an episode about Juventus and all their lost finals. But there is an obsession that some teams have with this competition. I think you know something about that too.
Yeah, well, you had to wait 45 years. Try waiting 100 odd years for not winning it. Yeah, the obsession, like Real Madrid, is the first team that comes to mind when you think about obsessions. That, like, La Decima became such an all-encompassing thing for that club. About it didn't matter if they won La Ligas. Nobody gave a shit if they won the league.
Yeah.
It was, we have to win the Champions League. And I think, again, this is why maybe FIFA are looking at, well, the focus is slowly moving to European football, because it is a bigger thing for some teams now than winning the domestic league, is winning, being the kings of Europe, right? And no club sums that up more than Real Madrid.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I mean, there is this thing, like the Champions League is, when my American friends, namely Reed, asks me why is this competition so big? Because you're playing against some of the very best players in the world. You have a fair chance. There are some incredible rules that we're going to mention that are unique to this type of competition. But it becomes, there are a lot of myths. There are a lot of memories. There is an obsession for some teams. These all create very unique atmosphere, and it makes also for some pretty big surprises at times.
Yeah, so every year it seems like there's a surprise package, a team that kind of emerges from nowhere. Last year it was arguably Atalanta or Lyon, either one. Kind of people didn't expect to see them as far in the competition as they were. There was obviously the year with Porto and Monaco final. I know that was a while ago now, but every year it seems like there's a team who kind of show up and show that, we're still here to compete. We might not be financially the big boys, but we're here to take over, not take part, right?
This was quite a jab to the idea of a stupid
Honestly,
European
this
Super
whole
League.
episode is just going to be peppered with it if you've not noticed.
No, we are. The surprise is that's why this competition is so great. Because last year, if you looked at the quarterfinals, you were like, I have never seen these teams in the quarterfinals. And guess what? I wasn't offended by it, as some people say, like, I don't want to see a small team like Atalanta in the Champions League.
They don't belong there, or whatever Agnelli said.
Well, yeah, they don't belong. That was quite something. Second jab at Juve in the episode.
Shock, he's the main guy behind the European League as well.
Yeah, that's definitely not a shocker. And then one thing that we both love about this competition is the importance of every single game and the importance of every single goal. That's very unique in sports, I think.
Now, football is the only sport that I'm aware of that has the away goal rule.
Which basically awards the hottest stadium.
But now, I think you like the rule. I hate the rule.
Why?
Well, one, because Arsenal have been knocked out on it several times. But taking that away, I think it made more sense when you had to travel to Hungary by bus, right? It was actually a mission to get to Russia, right? Now they're traveling on luxury planes. Like, it isn't playing away doesn't give you the disadvantage that it used to, I don't think.
Man, go play a game in Turkey with a stadium full of people and tell me if that doesn't make sense.
Like, then you're telling me if I play at Stamford Bridge and I score, I deserve one more goal than playing at home. Like, I just think the rule is, I think it's redundant now. I don't see it as
I think it's great because it actually gives importance to the supporters who are at the core of the game. Like we're noticing right now watching these games, sometimes you find yourself yawning in the middle of an exciting game like PSG against United. And if there were fans there, they would create a different atmosphere and it wouldn't be as yawny at times because they are part of the show, they're part of the competition. I feel like it's the number one competition where fans are actually an active part to it.
Okay, I'm going to give you one more argument to get rid of away goals.
All right.
It would give us more extra time and therefore more penalty shootouts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking from the perspective of an Inter fan who saw their team getting kicked out of the Champions League because we were at even points with Tottenham 2 years ago in the group stage. But guess what? We had lost 1-0 in London and Tottenham had lost 2-1 in Milan. So they had that away goal at the San Siro and they went through. Guess what? Nobody said a word. It's a rule. It's there. And if they manage to score a goal at the San Siro on that night, which was the one that I was mentioning earlier, well deserved. You guys go through. Nobody flinched. We went to the Europa League.
Okay, personally, that would piss me off. But okay, fine.
Well, yeah, because you're an Arsenal fan and you've never won the Champions League. I was like, all right, fine. Well, whatever. We'll see. But yeah, another great aspect about the Champions League for a guy who studied languages their entire life and for someone who loves traveling is the clash of cultures. There will never be something like your mom sending you a voice note like, hey, Tommy, is there a Champions League game tonight? Because I'm in Duomo Square and it's full of drunk Germans. And I'm like, yes, we're playing drunk Germans tonight. And then you take the subway, you stop at Duomo and the metro just
incredible.
Gets
yeah,
packed with like drunken Germans or English or Dutch.
And the train's like bouncing.
Yeah, and everybody starts singing their songs. And actually going to the stadium on Champions League nights with my Inter outfit, I've made friends from the opposing team.
Yeah,
because,
of course. Especially after a few beers.
After a few beers. One time we walked to the stadium, my friend Michael and I, we walked all the way from the metro to the San Siro with this, I don't remember what game it was, maybe Inter Man U, but with this group of very calm English supporters. It was two fathers with like 5 kids in their 14s, and we started walking and stuff. It was nice, and I like this clash of cultures. The fact
I really enjoy seeing the city filled with the away fans. The only thing is, if I don't have a ticket, I'm a very jealous person. It turns out it makes me very angry. I'm like, oh damn it, can I just come with you guys? Like, and I always feel sorry for the commuters who are just trying to get home, but it's funny. Like.
And another thing I love about this clash of cultures at the stadium is when you hear chants that you cannot understand what they're singing. Okay. And by the way, best opposition supporters that I've seen at the San Siro, Saint-Étienne from France.
Oh, they go hard, yeah.
Those guys were unbelievable. Besides the flares and everything, they sang the entire time and they made so much noise. They put the Inter Curva to shame.
Huge club.
They really put the Inter Curva to shame.
Yeah. No, I think, it's always good to see the kind of when you get the Germans, or I remember when Arsenal were in the Champions League.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. It was always kind of when you had, I don't know, the Turkish fans turn up or just the atmosphere. They always put the English fans to shame a little bit because you're like, come on guys, let's get going. Like those guys they're 3-0 down and they're still singing for 90 minutes. If you know what I mean. So I think it is great to see the different fan cultures in the same stadium. A lot of time for that. For that.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about Europe. We're such a small continent with so many different types of people, types of way of looking at life, way of dressing, attitude, language. And when you see, I don't know, a Bulgarian team playing against an English team, you're like, what would be another opportunity? It's a bit like the World Cup, you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
when you see like Nigeria against Iceland, you're like, this is an odd like mix-up. But
no, exactly. That's what, we talk about football as the global game, uniting people, etc., all the cliches. This is what we want, right? The fans interacting and meeting new people. So we're finally going to move on to, now, as I'm currently watching the Europa League, or half watching the Europa League, we're still 2-1 up, by the way, just about. The TV coverage of the Europa League is an absolute abomination. We have to put up with Martin Keown. He might be an Arsenal legend, but the guy's a fucking idiot. His coverage is terrible. The anthem's terrible. They put on B-list pundits. It's just quite half-arsed. And then you go to the Champions League coverage, and it's like just Premier Rolls-Royce. Okay, it's just beautiful. Like, I think if
the colors are beautiful, that blue with the silver stars.
I think anyone in the UK, if you're watching the Champions League, you'll be aware of the goals show on BT Sport. And it's, if you're not particularly married to watching one game, it's incredible. They take you round the grounds, you watch every game, you see every goal. They've got 4 incredible journalists on there. So James Richardson, James Horncastle, Julian Laurent, and Ralph Honigstein, and they just sit and talk you through all the games, and you see every goal. It's beautiful. I think the coverage is one of the things, as we're not allowed in stadiums at the moment, it's a thing that I think needs to be lauded. When you see journalists doing their job well, yeah, give them the credit, right? And I think compared to Europa League coverage, it's I fucking hate Europa League coverage.
So these are the reasons, I guess, why we love this competition, why it's so sad to see it, the way it's unfolding. I believe it's the only way it's unfolding.
But there's one more thing, Tommy. I'm going to jump on you now. But your favourite win in the Champions League for Inter? Your favourite
win ever? Well, when we beat Barcelona 3-1 at the San Siro.
Oh, funnily enough, mine is Barcelona as well.
Really?
When we beat Barcelona at home, Andre Arshavin 2-1. Greatest moment in the Champions League history. I just needed to shout that out.
That. And there
Arshavin! Yeah.
There was that iconic 0-2 shirt. Am I correct?
No, this was Emirates era. It was
already Emirates?
Yeah, Fabregas scored a penalty with a broken leg, and then Arshavin scored and we won. We then lost in Nou Camp, but still, that feeling was incredible. And this goes back to the importance of goals, the enormousness of wins. When you win, it feels huge. Yeah, sorry, I had to get that in.
No, and we had to really do this section because while we're recording, my cat is absolutely going.
Yeah, Mingus has been a nightmare today.
But thank Gabriele for
he's multitasking
with that. But he's cat sitting, yeah. But we just wanted to have this part in the episode because watching the Champions League without fans, it just doesn't feel the same. Last night I was watching Inter. They were right behind the corner in Milan. I couldn't be at the stadium.
Where we should be, right?
Yeah, but I do understand that this is the way this competition has got to unfold, at least throughout a global pandemic. We'll get back and we'll be stronger than ever. But now I got a Serbian player to find out because I want to be able to fall asleep otherwise.
Is he going to get it? Is he going to get it?
I doubt.
Okay, listeners, you now have my undivided attention. The game is pretty much over. So let's go for the quiz. I don't think Tommy looks not confident.
I cannot think of Serbian players, man. I gotta think about it. But yeah, you recap what you said earlier.
Okay, so he was born on the 12th of April, 1979, which makes him 41 years old. He played for Partizan Belgrade, PSV Eindhoven, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, and Fenerbahce, amongst other teams. He currently holds the record for having won the league titles in the most different countries. That's not the way to say it, but that's how it's said. The most different countries? Anyway, he's won the league in
the most countries.
In the most countries, right? Yeah. Christ. He has won the league in Serbia.
The Italian correcting the English, man.
He has won the league in Serbia, Holland, England, Turkey, and Belarus.
I might have it. No, I'm just...
You get questions, by the way, in case you don't want to like...
Yeah. I might have it. Okay. Is he a forward?
He is a forward.
Does his last name start with S?
No.
Oh, no. All right.
Oh, I'm relieved. I thought he got it there.
No, because for a second... But no, I'm not even going to say who I was thinking of because I'm not even sure it was Serbian. So he was a forward. I ran out of questions.
No, you only have one, right?
Well, no, I asked you if he's a forward, and you said yes. Does his last name start with S? And you said no, and that makes it 3 questions because I asked you if he was Serbian. Right? All right. Was he a very prolific striker?
At Chelsea, famously, no. At PSV, definitely yes. 122 appearances, 105 goals.
What?
Yeah, at PSV, 122 appearances, 105 goals. Chelsea, 25 appearances, 4 goals. His next best successful season was at Fenerbahce, 46 games, 20 goals. He then moved to PSG, which I do not remember at all. Then Zenit, South China, Bate Borisov, and then finished at South China. Again, well, 0 appearances, 0 goals. But I don't know what other clues I can give you, Tommy.
Particular hairdo or something like.
He always had it like